Choosing a Unity render pipeline can feel overwhelming. Built-in, URP, HDRP, which one is the right choice for your project? In today's video, I'll break down each pipeline in a simple and visual way. We'll look at what each one is good for, the pros, the cons, and then finish with a clean decision tree so you can pick the right one every single time. Let's start with the built-in rendering pipeline. This is Unity's classic renderer. It's stable, compatible with almost everything, and great for fast prototypes, or if you're learning Unity for the first time. If you're following older tutorials, using lots of asset packs, or building for WebGL, built-in is still the easiest starting point. Next up is URP, the Universal Render Pipeline. URP is modern, optimized, and works across almost every platform, including mobile and VR. You get better performance, cleaner lighting, shader graph, and modern post-processing. If you're starting a new project and you're not targeting super high-end visuals, URP is usually the best all-around choice. And finally, HDRP, the high-definition render pipeline. HDRP is designed for realism. Features like physically based lighting, volumetrics, screen space effects, and ray tracing. If your project targets high-end PCs or next-gen consoles, and your main goal is realistic graphics, HDRP is the way to go. Just a quick note, Unity 6 is rolling out improvements, mostly for URP and HDRP, but the core idea of choosing a pipeline stays the same. Built-in is still supported, URP is still the general purpose choice, and HDRP is still for high-end visuals. Before we go into more detail, let's talk about what a rendering pipeline does and how it affects your scene. A render pipeline is simply the steps Unity uses to turn your 3D scene into the final image on your screen. Every frame in your game goes through the same basic stages: culling, rendering, and post-processing. So let's break that down real quick. First is culling. This stage identifies which object the camera actually needs to draw. Anything outside the camera view or fully hidden behind other objects gets skipped. This saves performance, so Unity doesn't waste time drawing objects the player can't see. Next is rendering. This is where Unity draws the visible objects onto the screen, and this is the stage where your render pipeline really changes the final result. Your chosen pipeline determines how lighting is calculated, what shaders and materials are supported, and how much performance costs you pay to achieve a certain visual look. And finally, post-processing. This is where effects like bloom, color grading, depth of field, and motion blur are all applied after a scene has already been rendered. Different pipelines handle this stage differently, and that's one of the biggest reasons your choice affects your final visuals. Built-in, URP, HDRP, they all follow the same stages, but the quality, performance, and features change depending on which pipeline you choose. Let's now look at some pros and cons, starting with the built-in render pipeline. Built-in has 3 core strengths. It works with almost every asset store package with no compatibility issues. It's stable and familiar, and it's great for tools, prototypes, and simple 2D or 3D games. But there are trade-offs. Visually, it can compete with the other pipelines with less graphic support and lower performance. Built-in is best in cases where you're targeting legacy systems and smaller scale projects. Unity 6 also does improve some underlying systems, but it doesn't change built-in's identity. It's still the legacy pipeline and won't receive modern rendering updates. Next up is URP, the pipeline that gives you the best balance of performance and visual quality. It's optimized for almost every platform. You get shader graph, modern lighting, and clean rendering features right out of the box. And it performs incredibly well on mobile, VR, and mid-range PCs. In Unity 6, URP gets major improvements with render graph, but everything here still applies. But it's not perfect. Some of HDRP's advanced effects just don't exist in URP, and migrating an older built-in project to URP can take time, especially if you rely on older shaders or plugins. Let's break down HDRP. Unity's high-end, physically accurate render pipeline. This pipeline treats lighting like a real camera, giving you precise control over exposure, grading, and scene realism. HDRP unlocks next-level visual features such as volumetrics, ray tracing, screen space effects, and extremely high-quality shadows. It's the best choice for cinematics, film-quality scenes, and AAA-style visuals. Unity 6 expands HDRP even further, with upgraded effects and lighting workflows. But the target stays the same: powerful PCs and next-gen consoles. But here are the limitations. HDRP expects real hardware. Laptops and mid-tier GPUs will struggle, especially with ray tracing. It has limited platform support, so platforms like the Nintendo Switch, they don't support HDRP, and mobile support just isn't happening. And you'll also spend way more time tuning lighting, exposure, and render settings. The results are stunning, but the workflow is much more demanding. Now that we've walked through each pipeline, let's bring everything together in one place. Built-in is the classic render. It's simple, stable, and best for beginners. Choose built-in if you're prototyping, targeting WebGL, or following older tutorials. URP is the balanced modern option, offering the most cross-platform support with a combination of performance and visual quality. HDRP is all about cinematic quality and AAA visuals, targeting high-end PCs and next-gen consoles. So choose this if you're building highly realistic scenes. And if you ever forget, just remember, built-in is simple, URP is balanced, and HDRP is high-end. To wrap things up, here's the easiest way to choose the right pipeline. Let's start with the project's target platform and your visual goals. If you're targeting VR or mobile, go with URP. If you're targeting WebGL, consider built-in, since some visuals may not render properly from URP. If your project is simple, beginner-friendly, or uses lots of asset packs, built-in is totally fine. If you're looking for cinematic visuals, targeting high-end PCs and consoles, go with HDRP. However, as we mentioned, the Nintendo Switch is incompatible with that. So in situations like this, go with URP. And lastly, if you're not looking for high-end visuals and need performance, go with URP. So in summary, built-in is best for beginners, prototyping, and WebGL builds. If you're looking for more cross-platform support, I would recommend URP, especially with its more balanced and modern visuals. If you want cinematic AAA visuals and you're targeting powerful hardware, go with HDRP. So if you're having trouble choosing the right pipeline, use this decision tree, and I hope it helps. Drop a like and let us know in the comments below what videos you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.